very, 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 very long while. I had this positive feeling that Ghana, there's a future for Ghana, and that things may actually get better going forward.
Is it because of this?
We want to serve notice, and notice is hereby served that until such persons as aforementioned are made to resign or removed from office, we, members of the majority caucus here in Parliament, will not participate in any business of government by or for the president by any other minister.
This is unprecedented.
Yes, unprecedented.
Yesterday, I kept asking, has this ever happened in the history of Ghana before?
Well, I haven't heard this. In the past, Michael Tenyauno had been, fighting Professor Mills. He had indicated, for instance, that he supported Nana Akufo-Addo and Rawlings. But we haven't experienced members of parliament, coming together, and they say they are representing about 80 members of parliament from the majority side who are calling on the president to sack the finance minister.
Yeah, and this is what we need for our democracy. I mean, for the growth of the country. But hey, the president won't budge.
Well, this morning I'll be telling you more about, what the president has been saying and whether what the experts, analysts make of the president's excuse for not wanting to sack the finance minister. He's been telling his members of parliament, we're doing the IMF program, Ken is leading discussions, so we can't
he
sack
didn't
it.
believe in the IMF program in the first place.
Time now for the Joy Business Report. We'll talk about this later on the Super Morning Show.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, first tranche of the $1.13 billion cocoa syndicated loan expected to hit the account of Bank of Ghana today. Also, cedi regains some strength against dollar as $1 is now going for 14 cedis 50 pesos. And Finance Ministry denies reports of Ken Ofori-Atta's resignation as the minister is set to continue with stakeholder engagements for an IMF economic program. Stay with us for details. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for being with us. All things being equal, the first tranche of the $1.13 billion cocoa syndicated loan will hit the account of Bank of Ghana today. Joy Business sources at the Finance Ministry indicates that about $790 million is expected to come in from the consortium of banks. This is expected to bolster the Ghana cedi and shore up its value against the US dollar. The funds, which will be used to finance purchases of cocoa beans, will also boost the country's balance of payment. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta yesterday confirmed the inflows of the cocoa syndicated loan at a meeting with business associations and President Akufo-Addo. In a related development, the Ghana cedi regained some strength against the US dollar at the end of trading yesterday on the retail market or forex market following weeks of consecutive free fall. On two occasions, the cedi improved in value against the American greenback, ending the day at 14 cedis 50 pesos, according to figures from leading forex bureaus. Now, this is almost 4% gain against the world's most important currency just in a day. It is unclear whether the improved value of the local currency against major foreign currencies would be sustained going forward. While still on the Ghana cedi, should the government secure a staff-level agreement with the International Monetary Fund by December 2022, the cedi may receive a sentiment boost. However, debt restructuring concerns may restrain foreign portfolio investment until such a time of clarity on the Muta deal. That's a session by Standard Chartered Bank's African Markets revealed. There's more in this report.
In its base case scenario, Standard Chartered Bank foresees at least a staff-level agreement with the IMF for a funded program between December and April next year. It's estimated the program to be worth around $3 billion. However, disbursement may depend on the requisite debt restructuring requirements and the associated timelines. The country's gross forex reserves were down around $2.1 billion between January and June this year and $3.4 billion between June and July. The report added that should the government secure a staff-level agreement with the IMF by December, expenditure on capital projects may have to be postponed in order to consolidate public finances. This means infrastructure projects will come to a halt at least for some time.
And that was a Business Desk report. Well, former Finance Minister said Tekwe has urged government to consider reintroducing the stabilization and sinking funds to resuscitate the weakened CD and the ailing economy. According to him, if government hadn't dismantled all the structures his administration had put in place, the country wouldn't be where it is now. Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of the Youth Economic Forum, Mr. Tekwe said government now has a better chance to reintroduce these funds.
We've done rationing of forex in the past, right? It's a limiting imports and all those things, right? And so if those policies were sustainable, we wouldn't have removed them. You only create black markets. So yes, find some way of managing the current crisis, but for long-term measures, don't panic. And there are things which governments have done. We have done sinking fund, stabilization fund, contingency fund. And you want to revisit. If you don't want to call it sinking fund, because it's Mahama, give it another name.
All right, that was former Finance Minister Seth Tekwe. Just an update on the currency market this morning. As we indicated, the CD regaining some strength against major foreign trading currencies. The dollar going for 14.50 cedis. The pound selling this morning at 15 cedis 70 pesos, and the euro selling at 13 cedis 55 pesos. Now, the Finance Ministry has denied reports that Sector Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has resigned from his position. It followed reports from some traditional media outlets and social media that the minister had resigned. But persons close to the minister and some senior officials at the Finance Ministry have told Joy Business that the reports are untrue. They asked the public to disregard rumors of the resignation of Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, some aides to the Finance Minister have also told Joy Business that he will continue with the ongoing stakeholder engagement, seeking more inputs on the current discussions with the International Monetary Fund for an economic program. Meantime, a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Herbert Kwawu, has hinted that government will soon announce policy measures to cushion businesses and industries in the wake of the current economic difficulties. According to him, the president recently engaged the business community, or is engaging the business community, to understand their needs and will soon address the nation on incentives to cushion them. He spoke to Joy Business at a capacity building workshop in Accra.
We're looking forward to translating what the AFCFTA has started, which is the guided trade. We're looking forward to translating it into guiding the private sector to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that exist on the continent. We can't continue to trade outside of the continent more than we do in the continent. When the raw materials that are used for trading elsewhere exist here on the continent, we must give capacity to the private sector to be able to add value and trade within and amongst ourselves. And that is why this forum, I believe, has been very instrumental, and we should commend the organizers both on the Ghanaian side and the Rwandan side for putting it together.
Herbert Kwawu is a Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. The Ghana Revenue Authority raked in 1,700% growth in revenue collection for the month of September as a result of the invigilation of value-added tax at shops. Now, according to the Commissioner General, Dr. Amishadai Osuamwa, 69% of the shops at which the action was taken altered their records and settled their tax obligations. He spoke to us at the ongoing Ghana Economic Forum organized by the Business and Financial Times.
We had 53 entities that we did a VAT invigilation. Out of the results that we had, if you look at the filing in terms of what the entity has filed as his sales for June, July, he has filed for August, and then you compare with what we found in September, 69% of them, the difference is more than 100%, and some of them goes as high as 1,700%. There was somebody who was filing 75,000 Ghana cedis per month, but when you get to the September, when we went to the shop, it was over 3 million. There was one who was filing 19,000, 17,000, and 20,000 for the 3 months. When we went to the shop, it was 330,000. So it means that these are revenues that are being understated.
Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Amishadai Osuamwa. Local poultry firm Bunta Farms is seeking the support of government to complete an ultra-modern chicken production and processing plant in the eastern region. According to Chief Executive Kwame Jan, the company needs about $8 million to complement its other resources to conclude the final phase of the project. He spoke to journalists at the farm's premises at Kwabeng in the eastern region after a tour of the facility.
So far, what we have done here, whatever you see here is coming from our own private resources. We have applied to the Ghana Exim Bank to support us. They've come here to review the situation on the ground, and we are waiting for them to come and say something positive to us. We are looking in the region of about $8 million more.
Aside Exim Bank, which other financing options have you explored?
We've not explored other financing because of the interest rates.
Okay. So how much has gone in already?
So far, what we are putting is more than what we are asking Exim Bank to give us.
Kwame Jan is lawyer and CEO of Bunta Farms. Now, Cocoa Board, the organization tasked with managing the country's cocoa, is looking to step up production of coffee in Ghana to benefit from the $100 billion global industry. But entrepreneur Ivy Wary is taking gradual steps towards creating a market for coffee here and abroad with Cafe Magnifico, her own brand of organic coffee. Joy Business Van gets a feel of production at Ivy's base in Hacho, here in Accra.
I'm somebody who speaks a lot about my problems, issues. Like if I have a problem, if I have a question, if I meet anybody for the first conversation, first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I ask, do you know this? Because I like to learn every day. So I kept asking a few people, and then someone told me, yes, Ghana has coffee. Why don't you trade in that with the people? Because they drink coffee there every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, after every meeting, after every food. They are either drinking their tea or coffee.
So we're ready for production, Ivy. Tell me what we are going to do.
Okay, we just weigh 2 kilograms of coffee green beans, and then we put it in the machine.
I get to do the light roast coffee cupping with Ivy.
You are a newbie, so let's see about you.
Okay. But this is actually very hot, is it?
I know, but that's how coffee is always drunk.
Well, that sounded like a lot of fun. Do join us at 1 p.m. Right after the Joy Business Report for the full story. And also, the Business Van airs at 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel. Before we go, commodity market update. Crude oil dropped marginally to $92 a barrel. Gold went up by almost $7 to open trading at $1,659 an ounce. Cocoa is selling at $2,296 a ton after losing $41 from yesterday's trading. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Winston, and interesting days ahead.
Well, interesting days ahead, because now we're getting information about the president's decision.